This time, I head into the frozen mountains of Siberia to uncover the secrets of a mysterious crater. I've gone in alone. It's 30 degrees below zero.
Frostbite is a massive concern.
And I think I'm losing my mind. I found a satellite image that has me intrigued. This one is deep in the mountains of eastern Siberia. Most of it looks very, very similar. It's forest, it's mountains, and yet there's what looks like a huge crater with a sort of conical shape within it, and then a further crater within that. It's in the middle of nowhere, it's extraordinarily remote. This marking does not make any sense. Siberia is famous for meteor strikes. But meteors don't usually make craters shaped like this. All I know is that in central Siberia, the temperature can drop to 60 below. And I'm leaving tomorrow.
3-piece snow shovel, no. 1 pair of gloves, 2, 3, 4,
Most of
5,
my expedition
6,
experience is in the heat of the
8,
jungle.
9. Over-prepared, Ed?
At 5:30 in the morning, I meet cameraman James for the first leg of our journey. From there, it's another 5.5 hours to Irkutsk in eastern Siberia. My target is in the wilderness of southeastern Siberia, not far from the village of Perevoz. But the nearest airport is 200 kilometers south in the small town of Bodaibo.
This place is so typically Eastern Bloc. It's almost like a set. Not the most intricate of architecture, it has to be said.
I don't speak Russian, but I need to communicate to have any chance of making it to my target. But I'm hoping that I might have some luck at the local school.
I know you. You're from Discovery Channel. Are you with Bear Grylls? No?
No, I'm not
I
very
know you.
There's a lot of people who obviously watch Discovery Channel here. Everyone seems to know me, which is very bizarre.
The students give me a couple of leads, and a few hours later, I get a call from an English teacher called Ira.
Okay, so should we go to the statue of Lenin? Ira? How are you? Give me a hug. Oh, lovely to meet you.
I think it's a great chance to practice my English, to communicate with you.
Okay, the place that we're actually going to is just in these mountains here. How would you get there?
By truck, maybe, with
truck.
workers driving to their gold mines.
The road north to Perevoz goes past some of the largest gold deposits in the world. I wonder if the crater could be an abandoned mine, but these guys have theories of their own.
Maybe spaceship there under the ground.
Right, okay. Seriously?
Yes,
What, the spaceship would cause this hole?
maybe.
Okay. Never say never, I suppose. The road is closed, forcing us to take our 7-ton truck onto the frozen river.
I'm sure it will hold, however, there are big long cracks in it.
Which is slightly unnerving, I have to admit, because it's springtime and everything's melting. We just hit a full 180 skid then. Siberia for you. Perevoz has no hotels, so the only option is to rent a room from a local family. They're regrettably named Mr. and Mrs.
Здравствуйте. My name is Ed. Ed.
Меня Леня. Леонид.
Nice to meet you.
Ольга.
Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте.
Целью ты приехал?
Why are you here?
There's a big crater, Badamski crater. I've seen it from an aerial photograph, and I'd like to see it with my own eyes and go
Он
and find
хочет
it.
сам увидеть это. The trees and the grass can't grow there.
Why?
They don't know.
Local legends claim that the crater is the nest of a giant fire eagle. Some believe it's cursed and that those who go there will die. These colourful stories make me even more determined to see it for myself. This is the first proper topographical map I've seen of the area. What's the scale?
1 centimeter is 1 kilometer.
Okay. Driving up the frozen river to within 8 kilometres of the target. Once I get to the drop-off point, I'll be on my own. So Leonid is keen to warn me that this region has Russia's highest concentration of brown bears. When the bears haven't fed enough before winter, they haven't fattened up enough, they actually end up coming out of hibernation much earlier. What would you do if you were faced with a bear and you've not got your rifle with you?
We don't shout or run.
Okay.
It's dangerous.
Don't run, don't shout. So just stand there and look at it. According to Leonid's map, I should be able to make the target by nightfall. My plan is to bash up the hill and stay high, trekking 6 kilometres along the ridgeline before dropping into the valley that leads to the crater, and it's there that I'll camp for the night. From now on, I'll be totally on my own.
Thanks, mate. Siberia is being kind to me at the moment. The clouds have parted and the sun is out. It's just a case of picking my way up through the tree line.
I'd allowed myself a couple of hours to reach the top of the hill, but the route seems much tougher than it appeared on the map. I've only gone 400 metres in the last hour, and it doesn't help that I've got to keep stopping to do the filming. But I'm most worried about how my trusty mountain boots are going to cope with the snow.
The leather is just now soaked and starting to freeze, and my feet are getting very cold.
I'm nowhere near the ridgeline and over 6 kilometres from the crater, but I have to get my tent up before nightfall. When the sun goes down, it could drop below minus 20 degrees. But it's too cold to risk moving camp, and as the sun disappears over the horizon, the camera lens starts to freeze over. Nothing like some hot...
Okay. Wow.
Okay, one camera down already. I think the cold has killed it. That's frozen, isn't it?
Very cold night. Very, very cold night. Wow, it is cold. Right, time to pack everything up and get moving.
Progress yesterday was agonisingly slow. If I'm going to make it to the crater, I need to change tactics.
Now, although it sounds ridiculous, I've just been looking at the map and I can actually backtrack, go down the river and up a gentle rising slope. And I think just because of the fact that it dropped down to minus 30s last night, I do need to be relatively careful around here. I can't just blunder up into the hills. Frustrating, but it's got to be done. Okay. Keep calm. Keep calm, keep calm. The 1 to 100,000 map, I didn't account for the lack of detail on it, and where I thought I was just going to get a gentle rising slope, I've got another wall of snow to go over, very steep slope, and a very steep slope with trees all over it. I cannot go over.
I'm not sure if the extreme cold is messing with my brain, but Leonid's map doesn't make sense.
This feature here should have finished by now, but it hasn't, and that's somewhat confusing me. I know that I've come 3 centimetres on the map, so why is the ground not appearing as it should?
But unless I've completely lost it, the scale has to be wrong.
I know that on the map it's only 3 centimetres, so 3 centimetres, 1 to 100,000 map is 3 kilometres, a kilometre a centimetre. But the total distance that I've covered is 6 kilometres, which means I'm working off a 1 to 200,000 map rather than a 1 to 100,000. And so everything is twice as far and twice as big. Crikey. But my legs now just feel like I've put each foot in a bucket of concrete and decided to go for a walk.
I'm halfway through my second day, and I've only made it a couple of kilometres. These mountains are twice the size I thought, but I have to find a way over if I'm going to make it to the target.
It's one of those moments where you just have to stop yourself and go, hang on, you're blundering through here, Ed, just maybe stop. Maybe a change of plan is needed.
I'm making no progress. I've got limited supplies, and I'm wearing the wrong boots. Carrying on like this would just be foolish.
Hello mate, can you hear me?
A couple of hours later, the guys picked me up pretty much where I started yesterday.
You alright?
Yeah. Don't think this map is 1 kilometre is 1 centimetre.
Не. Сразу же.
Okay.
Один к 2.
I thought you said 1 for 1.
Да.
It threw me, basically.
I need to warm up, reset, and go out again tomorrow morning. But first, I'm gonna need 2 things. A shorter route to the crater, and some warmer boots.
Whoever wins, we give each other our boots.
Давай, поехали.
Morning, it's 7 a.m. Just woken up. My right toe. It's definitely onset of some sort of frost nip, so I need to be really careful with that and make sure they don't get cold again.
Leonid wants to take me along the river as close as possible to the crater. I'm on my own again, and I'm determined not to let the conditions beat me a second time.
This is my last opportunity to get eyes on this crater, and I'm not going to waste it. New footwear on, more food. So, feeling very buoyant, very positive, and feels like I'm back on track.
Everything I've learnt in Siberia tells me that it would be a massive mistake to try and blast over the hills. So this time, I'll stick to the river as long as possible.
Don't know whether you can hear that as I walk forward. That is the sound of ice cracking. That's not a good sign. As I'm getting further up the river, the spring melt is causing the ice to thin.
If I fall through with this heavy pack on, I might get swept under the ice.
There it goes again.
Even if I pulled myself out, a full immersion in ice-cold water could send me into hypothermic shock.
Slowly to the trees. I do not want to get wet. I absolutely do not want to get wet.
At the next river bend, I see how close I came to disaster.
There's open water there. I would have gone straight through that ice.
The last thing I wanted to do was push myself through snowdrifts again, but I have no choice.
This is taking the piss now. I think the skis are needed. Okay, they work in so much as on top of the snow. I'm not going to waste any more time on this. It's just annoying. Enough messing around.
I'm only 3 kilometers from the crater, but progress is painfully slow, and my frozen feet feel like they've been hit by hammers.
I can feel my right toe throbbing. Frostbite is a massive concern. That is not what I wanted.
I've lost feeling in my toes and fear I have the beginnings of serious frostbite. I must get my camp set up soon to survive the freezing nighttime temperatures.
I'm not going to use my tent. I've got it as a safety measure, but I've just figured this is how you're meant to live in Siberia.
I'm much happier making a fire and building a lean-to shelter than crawling into a nylon tent with only a little gas stove to keep me warm.
That'll protect me from the wind, reflect back the heat of the fire so that I'm not just heated on one side, I'm heated on both sides. And that is warm underneath. Above my head, I need to close all of these gaps.
Instead of filling the gaps with small branches, I'm using a heat blanket from my emergency survival kit.
It's a lot of work involved making a camp like this.
By nightfall, it's already minus 25 degrees.
The sort of ominousness about this place is somewhat lifted by a fire. It somehow tames the whole wildness. It makes you feel safe. It's gonna work, you know. This is gonna work. It's Siberia, and I'm sleeping outside.
My only worry is that after warming up next to the fire, my toes still feel frozen to the bone.
Okay, well, definitely have got frost nip on my toe. Frost nip, frostbite.
Crystals of ice have formed in the flesh. Unless they're treated, the blood flow is cut off, and as the tissue dies, the toe turns black. Extreme cases require amputation. I won't lie, potentially losing my toe is a bit of a worry. But Siberia has one more trick up her sleeve. In the night, the wind changed direction, blowing smoke into my shelter.
I've slept some. Final ridge. 300-400 meters, I think. Straight up over the brow of the ridge. Crater should be there. Let's go. It's been a very, very long journey so far. Okay. Last push. Keep going, Edward. Keep going. Keep going.
Pig-headed determination destroyed my chance of reaching my target on my first attempt. But right now, it's the only thing driving me on.
Probably come up 400 meters now. Maybe last 100 to push. Very, very cheeky little last leg, this one. Very cheeky indeed. Scary stuffs. Very thick forest. Dropping down towards this target. Oh yes, that is a crater. Oh my goodness.
Finding this crater on foot has been an adventure I'll never forget. Now I'm finally here. The feeling is indescribable. What looked intriguing on a satellite image is breathtaking in real life.
Now that is satisfying. I'm in the crater.
No picture could convey the scale of this massive pile of shattered rocks. It must be over 150 meters across. Standing here, I see why it's inspired so many crazy stories.
From a fire eagle's nest to an alien spaceship's landing place. It's one of the most mysterious targets that I've ever had to investigate. But I'm certainly not surprised that this place is considered so mystical because it is such an anomaly. This huge white donut of rock in the middle of a vast landscape. It is so incongruous, and yet it is so magical, really.
Who knows if this incredible crater will ever reveal its secrets? I don't know if I even want an answer. I'm just grateful for what the journey here has shown me, all thanks to one intriguing image from space.
Yes!
Geophysicists argue that the crater's donut shape rules out a meteor strike, and some rock samples that I took for analysis back this up. I'd have stayed longer, but I couldn't risk losing a toe. My frostbite will be a lasting reminder of this mysterious place in the heart of Siberia.